India faces security challenges in the east too. China has been expanding its military presence at the border. It's been a matter of concern for India, and now it's worrying India's allies too. Last month we told you about China's expanding military infrastructure in Ladakh. The PLA is building a bridge across the Pangong Lake. Satellites have captured Chinese construction activity over this lake. This area is under China's illegal occupation. India criticized China. Now even America has expressed concern. General Charles Flynn, the commander of the US Army in the Pacific, has spoken out. He says Chinese construction activities are quote-unquote alarming. In fact, I have his statement with me. This is what he says. I believe that the activity level is eye-opening. I think some of the infrastructure that is being created in the Western Theatre Command is alarming, and so much like across all their military arsenal, one has to ask the question, why? General Flynn is in New Delhi these days. He's meeting India's top military leadership. They're looking to deepen military cooperation. India and the US plan to conduct more joint drills. In October this year, Indian and American forces will train in the Himalayas. These will be high-altitude training missions. They'll be conducted at the height of 9,000 to 10,000 feet. After these drills, Indian forces will go to America. There they will train in extreme cold weather conditions. They'll work on a range of skills, new technology, Air Force assets, attack aviation, logistics, and information sharing on a real-time basis. General Flynn has his own assessment about China. He said the Chinese show quote-unquote corrosive and corrupted behavior, and that the US and India should work together to counter it. Corrosive and corrupted, he says. Let me give an example. China is turning its citizens into spies. How do you do that? By offering rewards. Beijing plans to reward Chinese citizens who expose foreign spies. What's the reward? Up to $15,000 in cash. That's what the Chinese government is promising. How does a scheme like this work? Anyone can send a tip-off. Chinese authorities will then investigate. If the tip turns out to be legitimate, the person who sent it will be rewarded. Next question. Why is China doing this? Beijing says it faces intensifying threats from foreign intelligence agencies, and it wants to keep its people motivated. What a noble idea. The problem is, China can label almost anything as a national security threat and almost anyone as a foreign spy. In fact, China spies on its own citizens. It's a matter of record. What they're now doing is incentivizing citizens to spy on each other. In other words, China is intensifying state repression. It is expanding surveillance. And why should the world worry about this? Because China's authoritarian governance is not just for the mainland. It is being exported around the world. Beijing is providing these tools, the training and the resources to authoritarian leaders to spy on their citizens. It's a model that they're exporting. The Communist Party of China regularly conducts training programs. They're designed for foreign government officials. And in programs like these, the officials are taught how to guide public opinion, how to control civil society, and how to implement the Chinese internet firewall in their home countries. In fact, officials from Uganda took these trainings and they wasted no time in replicating the Chinese model at home. The government of Uganda bought surveillance systems from Huawei. They used them against the country's political opposition. Presidential candidates and their supporters were tracked using cameras, facial recognition, and biometrics. And it's not just Uganda. Countries like Eritrea, Kenya, Serbia, Sri Lanka, the Philippines, Uzbekistan, Venezuela, they've all bought surveillance tech from China. So you see, the threat from China is manifold. It's not just limited to border build-ups or military infrastructure, it's all pervasive. China wants to invade countries through multiple channels to undercut democracies worldwide, and this is how they do it. They export their model of authoritarianism to undermine democratic governments, the rule of law, free markets, and ultimately, free speech. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.